This video is a Moto Academy post. This video is recorded at a track in Baarle-Nassau. This is the logo, and I've been to this track before. I shared that with you guys when I did the June challenge. And during the June challenge I had a near accident on a jump at the end. And during this same challenge I also was launched in a corner, so I had a crash. No, this time luckily I did not crash. I focused a little bit more on the jumps that we have in this track, and especially the jumps that I could not do. And finally I'm going to conquer one of the jumps that I could not do before. Let's have a look. Okay, this is the start of the track, and we go on straight with a bump in there, another bump, and then the first jump. This jump I do not dare to jump, you have to jump so high. Then jump number 2, that is doable, but I do not dare it yet. Jump number 3, that is an off-gas bump, you could say. Then takes a while before we get really a jump. So bump here, some bumps here. Yeah, and now we have jump number 4 coming. This one I can jump if the guy is not there on the left hand. Then we get a straightaway with a bump there, and then jump number 5, which I'm going to jump for the first time today. And jump number 6, and that's a little bit scary to do because the corner is behind. Okay, and then we're back at the start. Okay, let's have a look at jump 1, 2, 3 and 4. If we look at the takeoff, I think they all look similar. Same posture. I would say, again, knee forward too much, but okay, that's what it is. The number 4 is not going so far, so that's why I'm going down there. And because I'm going down, I think, well, it's 2 wheels on the same time on the floor. I think the number 1 or the number 3, well, the number 3 is going furthest on the jump or on the flat surface. In all cases, rear wheel first, but you see at lap 3, really on my rear wheel. I think that it may be to do, if we can look at where it starts, I see 1 and 2. The bike is maybe a little bit tilted more forward, but let's have a look where I start standing up. You see now that in lap 3 I already start standing up compared to lap 1 and 2. You see that my butt is still on the seat in lap 1 and 2, and in lap 3 I start already, when I'm still high, standing up. And it just turns out when you start standing up, the rear wheel starts dropping. So maybe that is a learning process here, guys. So if you were in the jump, standing up is just before the landing, maybe because it starts dropping down, or it could be that my head is not enough forward. AJ, you can tell. I think since you land on the plat, lap 1, 2 and 3, they all get a sort of bounce effect. I think number 1 you do not see it so much, but you see the rear wheel going out. 2 and 3 you see the wheels coming off the surface. The lift off, I think, for all is again the same. Similar posture, only lap 6 is closer to the camera, right? See the other guy who's going slower with 5.3. He has a better posture than me even. Okay, we go higher in the sky, and then the bike is allowed to tilt forward. I stay sitting down, down, down. And now you see in lap 6 I start standing up, so the rear wheel starts dropping again. I think in lap 7 and 6 both my front wheel will touch first, and in lap 5 it's like sort of both at the same time. 7 is coming down here, 6, well, it's very close to both wheels at the same time. A little bit the bump up, but not that much because all the jumps were not that far on the flat, although 5 is pretty much at the end, but okay, good. Yeah, I think the liftoff is again exactly the same as before, so nothing new there. Through the air, similar posture as before. I think 11, I'm still standing there a bit more. And to be honest, so 10 rear wheel, 12 maybe front wheel first, 9 both at the same time, I guess. Oh, rear wheel first, and 11 surely rear wheel first. So yeah, similar liftoff again, all four the same. I think similar to what I did before. So nothing new there. No, I think 16 is not going that far, similar to 15 maybe. But I think, okay, you see I'm standing up for 13 and 16 already. So 13 and 16, clearly rear wheel first. But if we look at 14 and 15, you see I keep on sitting on the seat for a moment longer, and therefore sort of both wheels at the same time. Is it better? Well, I don't know. You see on 14 I really pop up, so that didn't help there so much. Okay, jump 3. If I look to the footage, I think all of them look sort of similar. A few times I go into the pocket and then I give it too much gas, so it drops really hard. Here, this one for instance. But most of the time I get it forward, and so the landing is not that harsh. Although I do land a lot with two wheels at the same time, I see. And I think it would be better if we land a little bit more forward. So I really have to work to get the bike forward, but maybe I should try better. And keeping the knees back again. Eh?
So to achieve the jump, I asked my friend Sjeff, who's a little bit faster, to drive in front of me so I could just ride behind him and get the right speed to jump the jump.
I don't know about you guys, but if you've done the jump the first time and you keep on doing it a few times, the feeling is good, right? Deze is voor jou, Sjeff.